Interviews with doctors who are curing cancer and how to prevent getting it in the first place. Suzanne, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Kathleen. Nice to be here.
You've written a number of self-help books and have had a positive impact on so many lives as a result. Talk to us about why you wrote Knockout.
I wrote Knockout because I was diagnosed with cancer 10 years ago, correctly, and I am cancer-free. But earlier this year, I was misdiagnosed with lung cancer that metastasized throughout my entire body. In fact, my oncologist said, I have never seen so much cancer. And he said, what we can do is we can start you on full-body chemotherapy today. And I looked at him and I said, just so you know where I'm coming from, I'd rather die. I would never take chemical poisoning. It's just not in my nature to do something like that. He said, well, then I think you should think about getting your things in order. And this was reconfirmed over 6 days in the hospital by 6 different doctors, all telling me that it was inoperable, incurable, and essentially hopeless. What I did hold on to, around day 3 or 4, I said to my husband, you know, I've been keeping a file on these doctors who are curing cancer, in most cases without drugs. If I can get out of this hospital, I want you to take me to one of them. So on the 6th day, when it turned out that they were horribly wrong, I was misdiagnosed, it was wrong, I had no cancer at all after looking death in the eye for 6 days, I thought rather than get mad, I'm going to interview these doctors in this file. And that's what I've done for the better part of this year, is talk to these doctors, interview them, and I would say to each of them, it's all well and good for you to tell me this, I need to talk to your patients. They opened up their patients to me. I talked to stage 4 lung cancer, liver cancer, ovarian cancer, cervical cancer, breast cancer, prostate cancer, brain tumors. All these people living these normal, healthy lives, having not been degraded by harsh chemicals, and I realized there is another way that none of us know about, and so that's what I've written about in Knockout. Other options that you probably don't know anything about.
Now, you interviewed doctors and medical professionals using everything from alternative to integrative to conventional methods to combat cancer.
Right.
Among them was NewsmaxHealth.com contributor Dr. Blaylock, who you also interviewed for your book Breakthrough. Tell us why you revisited Dr. Blaylock and what insights did you feel that he would offer?
Oh, Dr. Blaylock is one of the brightest minds in the country. He's a oncologist, neurosurgeon for 22 years. Stopped surgery because he said he was opening brains, seeing cancers so rare in younger and younger people that he decided he had to devote the rest of his life to research, to the effects of chemicals on the human brain and body. So he's a neuroscientist, and I go to him for information all the time. And one of the things that Dr. Blaylock told me that is absolutely shocking, so much so that I've hardly mentioned on television because I'm being so attacked for having the audacity to say that there are ways other than chemotherapy to deal with cancer. But he said, if I were a woman, I would never have a mammogram. And I said, what? He said, if a woman starts at age 40 with no cancer and has a mammogram every year, by the time she's 50, she will have increased her chances of getting breast cancer by 33 1/3%. He said also, the act of smashing the breast the way we do with, like in a panini machine with a mammogram, he said, if you have a tumor in there, he said, that very process of smashing can break the tumor and metastasize the cancer. He said, I said, well, what do we do if we can't have mammograms? He said, first you have an ultrasound, you have a thermogram if there's any hot spots, then you have an ultrasound, if there are any shadows, then you have an MRI. I said, well, we can't afford MRIs. He said, if the new gold standard became MRIs, he said, then they would be affordable. He said, because there's no radiation and you see a clearer picture in an MRI. He said, the cumulative effect of radiation from mammograms is actually giving women cancer, and no one wants us to.
I was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer when I was 26 years old. I was rushed into surgery. I was told I would need 9 to 12 months of chemotherapy, but I refused chemotherapy, and instead I radically changed my diet and lifestyle. I basically overdosed on